Your analytical mind can only measure what you will lose. It has no information about what you might gain when you make changes to your life, your reality, your habits, and everything. Your life covers it. I didn't need to elaborate. And I've been contemplating that idea a lot because I've been leaping faster and faster in my life at the moment. Over the last year, it's been over a year of just leaping. If I feel called to do something, I do it. If my intuition says there's more, I go on the quest. And I was wondering if there might be a break from the quest and I might somehow be able to find some kind of balance with, start to relax a little bit and start to just enjoy some things for me. But I'm not sure if I'm incapable of that or if I just don't want it. I've been having some very different thoughts about what I want to do, who I want to be, what kinds of experiences I want to have, because you can't do it all. There's definitely a degree of choice, and that's coming from me, the person who, in the last journal that I recorded, I was talking about doing 50 million things, fixing up this car, working all these hours. I don't actually remember what I documented in the last journal, but it felt like a lot. I'm building this area, I'm making this into a creative filming and music studio, and the gardens and everything, so much going on, but you can't do it all. There's only so many hours in the day. And something that I used to prioritize above everything else was my intimate relationship. And I'm having some new thoughts about it because I'm not sure if that's true. I mean, you say you value all these different things in your life, but actions speak louder than words, right? And if you're observing yourself, which I'm trying to be as mindful as possible and see who I really am, not just who I intend to be. Intention is not the whole picture. I can see myself actually putting my relationship second a lot. And this isn't a realization where I'm thinking, oh, I better stop doing that, because I think I've been trying not to do it, and that's why I say I prioritize my intimate relationship. If I'm in a relationship, then I prioritize that person, and I want them to be happy, and I want to make time for them, but I'm not actually doing it. I do it for a period of time, and then everything goes out of balance as soon as I get into my ambition again. And I don't know if that's fair. It's quite a vulnerable thing to share. But yeah, it might sound like, oh, you're having a realization that you need to work less, but it's the opposite. I think I'm finally realizing that I choose the journey and I choose work. And I don't know what that means. Can you have a relationship? It could be as simple as, once I admit that to myself and I prioritize work and I prioritize ambition, honestly, I'm in harmony with myself. I'm not bullshitting myself saying relationship comes first, everything else second. If I said ambitions first, relationship second, maybe I would that would be it. Just the awareness that that's the truth could be enough just to heal any disharmony in my life and in my future relationships, not just intimate relationships. It's like my friendships are frayed as well. Like I don't have many consistent relationships apart from an intimate relationship. Like my friends I see rarely, but when I do see them I try to cram in like 6 months worth of experiences and try to do something really cool. And I love that. But what I'm learning is like, that's me and that's my values. And like, I want to keep doing everything that I possibly can. And because I'm so ambitious, it's kind of like you have to slot in with the direction that I'm going. Like, you have to just hitch a ride and hope for the best that the destination that we're heading towards works out for you as well. And yeah, so that's like generally how things go. And some of that works really well for people like Tom and Jared, who they love the quests and it's like doing heaps of crazy stuff and then retreating back to, home to relax. And I don't actually know what they even do in their personal life that much really, but like I'm just on quest after quest after quest, and I just want to experience as much as possible while I'm here. And I keep thinking that somebody is going to get it, like understand and like want to do it together. But less and less, like I'm starting to separate myself from my relationship, which is just, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's a healthy, like independent relationship. I don't know, this is a vulnerable place for me. I don't feel like I'm saying anything too crazy, but like it feels crazy inside of me anyway. Like, when you're kind of expressing yourself or you're in a situation and maybe you're not even expressing yourself. Like I know people who identify as being quite introverted feel this. Like you're not necessarily there's nothing wrong, but you feel like naked is the word. Like you feel like exposed. You feel like everybody can see the vulnerability inside of you. Like when you're, I don't know, it's like, yeah, it's like a feeling of, I'm very alert and like I feel stress and I feel, it's probably like what you'd call anxiety a little bit. Like it's just, what if I say the wrong thing? What if, it gets to a point where the thought processes that are going on in the background are taking up more energy than the video journal itself, what I'm actually trying to communicate, because there's all this internal chatter going like, don't say this, say that, like make sure that you don't, do it wrong. Oh. There's definitely a vulnerability line that you don't cross that I've found. And when I get close to the line, it gets hard to concentrate. And it gets hard to express clearly, because then I start trying to express the meta position, which is like all of this background noise that's in my head. And then it just starts to feel like I'm rambling, which creates a feedback loop of insecurity, like what ifs, all these what ifs, like how are people going to perceive this or receive this? I do not know. What are the kinds of assumptions that people are going to make based on the things that I have said? Even though I consciously know that you don't know anything. And like, this is just a fraction of my day to day, which is a fraction of my life, which is a fraction of eternity. Like, it doesn't matter. It's insignificant, but it feels significant when you get into this state. So I started this video off by saying, like, you can only measure what you will lose, but you can't, your analytical mind doesn't have any data to start to construct an image of what you might gain when you make changes to your life. So like, I'm thinking about like changing my relationship and changing my work-life balance. Or it's like I said as well, like I'm not even going to change it. I'm just going to admit to myself that this is who I am and this is what I'm doing, because it's not balanced, and I am prioritizing my ambition above my relationship, and I always have, if I'm totally honest with myself. There's periods where I swing the pendulum the other way and I try to make up for it in a way, and I do that with my friendships and family as well. Like, I'll drop in and just try to like give as much of myself and my time and my love as I can, and then I'll be off again. So yeah, like I'm gonna change, and it's scary, and I guess that's where I feel the vulnerability, because I'm talking about changing something that feels quite significant to me, and the other piece is like, it affects other people, and other people are going to have judgments and opinions about it. But at the same time, maybe, like I said, people might just be relieved, like, yeah, finally he's like admitting to himself that these are his priorities. Because what happens is I just keep saying like, oh yeah, I want to focus on like these other important things, but time just evaporates, and I honestly lose track of time. Like, I couldn't tell you when it is most of the time, and I couldn't tell you how many weeks it's been since like I made a decision or I changed something. Like, I barely have the awareness that it's been over a year since I really started to leap. I have to sit down and reflect and like contemplate and like really like look at the timeline and very consciously take time into consideration. Otherwise, time doesn't exist to me. Like, I am just in the moment, and like that's the consequence of being in the moment and being present and all of that. Like, it's just one big long now. And then I don't realize that other people are like waiting around for like an outcome or for a change or something, and I'm putting all of my energy and awareness into what's right in front of me, and I'm dreaming up new creations and just doing everything that I can to make the experience that I want to have and the experience that I want to share with others. And I naively expect that everybody else is doing the same, and they're just absolutely loving their own journey. But like, sometimes I guess I just neglect friendships, family, and relationships, especially when things are going really well for me, and like like I've got goals and I know what I'm doing, and I'm really loving it. Like, I guess I've become a little bit absent to the people in my life. But then, like I said, like if I do have time for you, like I'm totally there for you as well, and I like that quality about myself, and I enjoy that way of being with others. Like, I don't want to have like a lukewarm relationship with my family, my friends, or my partner. I want to have experiences that we'll remember for the rest of our lives. Like, I just love maxing out the human experience, and I want to say like boredom is like the big killer for me. like I think I kind of touched on it in the last journal as well. Like boredom is what makes me stressed. If I stop wanting to do what I'm doing, then I get stressed. And like, yeah, it's just I don't find things fun anymore, and I get resentful, and yeah, all kinds of consequences emerge from that. Like boredom, I can't be bored. Like maybe that's something that I need to look at. Like, and I have looked at it actually, and now if I've got nothing to do, I've got nothing to do. But I still don't get bored. I just rest, and I know I need my rest. And all of the things that I do to alleviate my boredom now are relatively healthy. So I don't know. It's a work in progress. It's always a work in progress. There is no ending. It's just being, and I'm loving it. There's no problem even. It's just a reflection. Like it's not oh no, I've been doing things wrong or anything. It's just, this is what I'm thinking and feeling in the present moment. And I'm expressing it to the best of my ability. And it's still not going to be, the full essence. It's just English words tumbling out of my mouth. If you enjoy them, pass these videos on to somebody else who may benefit for whatever reason. I don't know why you would think that somebody would benefit from these journals, but clearly people are getting some kind of something. Click the like button for me, leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and go check out kailives.com and see what this is all about.